Have you ever faced moments when doubt clouds your mind and questions overwhelm your heart? How can we trust God's plan when life seems uncertain? Doubt is something we all face at some point in our spiritual journey. It can arise from moments of suffering, confusion, or when we encounter the unknown. But as Catholics, we are reminded that even in our doubts, we are not alone. God's love is constant, and His plan for us is always perfect, even when we cannot fully understand it. In the book of Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6, we are called to trust God with all our hearts, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding, in all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. This passage teaches us that even when doubts arise, we are invited to surrender our worries and place our trust in God. It is not about understanding everything perfectly, but about trusting that God's plan for us is greater than anything we can imagine. Doubt often stems from fear or uncertainty about the future. In times of distress, we may question God's presence or His plan for our lives. But remember, Jesus Himself experienced moments of anguish and doubt during His earthly journey. In the Garden of Gethsemane, He prayed to His Father, "My Father, if it is possible, let this cup be taken from me. Yet not as I will, but as you will." Matthew 26 verse 39. Jesus, in His human nature, faced deep doubt and sorrow, yet He trusted in His Father's will above all else. As we strive to trust God's plan, we must remember that faith does not mean the absence of doubt. Rather, faith is choosing to trust in God even when we don't have all the answers. In Mark 9 verse 24, a father in need of healing for his son says to Jesus, "I do believe, help me overcome my unbelief." This honest plea is an expression of the struggle between doubt and faith that many of us experience. Jesus responded with compassion and healed the boy. God does not expect us to have perfect faith, but He invites us to bring our doubts to Him. When faced with doubt, we can turn to prayer as a source of comfort and strength. Through prayer, we allow ourselves to be in God's presence, opening our hearts to His guidance. Jesus assures us in Matthew 7 verse 7, "Ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, knock and the door will be opened to you." Our doubts can be transformed into opportunities for deeper prayer, where we place our trust in God's plan, knowing that He hears our hearts. It is also important to remember that God's timing is not always our own. We may not always understand why things happen the way they do, but we can trust that God is working in our lives. In Romans 8 verse 28, St. Paul reminds us, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." This verse assures us that God is always at work, even when we don't see it. He is weaving every moment of our lives into His perfect plan. Finally, when doubt creeps in, surround yourself with a supportive community of believers. The Church, with its prayer, sacraments, and fellowship, helps strengthen our faith. In moments of doubt, the Church provides a space where we can be reminded of God's promises and find support through the love of others. In conclusion, dealing with doubt is a part of the Christian journey, but it is through trusting in God's plan that we find peace. We may not always understand why things happen, but we can trust that God's love for us is unwavering. Let us remember the words of Psalm 9 verse 10, "Those who know your name trust in you, for you, Lord, have never forsaken those who seek you." Even in the midst of doubt, God's faithfulness remains, and He will guide us on the path He has prepared for us. Trust in His plan, for He is always with us.